You're listening to Sideshow Network.
Hey, hi, how are you? I'm Jamie Flam, and I'm the artistic director of the Hollywood Improv. Basically, that means I'm the one responsible for booking comedians, producing shows, and making sure every night at the club is magical. You might even call me the gatekeeper. Okay, so not really, but maybe, I don't know. Outside of my job at the Improv, I also perform and write comedy, which means I sit in front of many gatekeepers myself. It's an interesting dynamic, but it's helped me learn a lot as well. Now I host a podcast about it. Each week, I talk with bookers, producers, decision makers, performers, and more.
Hey, this is Cole Stratton.
This is Janet Varney.
This is Troy Conrad.
This is Todd Glass, and you're listening to Gatekeeper.
It's an inside look at the art of saying yes and no. Also, there are sound effects. Be sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And you can find more info at sideshownetwork.tv.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever here on the Sideshow Network. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence. And it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn.
And here we are again, bringing you more comics.
Yeah.
All the comics.
Yeah.
So many shitty comics.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're out of control.
We're on a roll.
Yeah, we're on a roll.
We saw Pumpkin Water today. That was fucked up.
You're still affected by that.
You know, I'm really offended by it, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Apparently they are now, because it's fall, which is my favorite season, even though here in Los Angeles we really don't have a fall.
Not really. Yeah,
or any sort of other season than nice.
You have nice, then kind of gray.
Yeah, nice, then kind of gray. And I'll be honest, I really miss fall. I miss leaves, and I miss scarves, and apple cider, and all that sort of shit.
I just miss it being a little bit cooler.
Yeah, I like the crisp fall air.
Yeah.
I like breezes.
I mean, it's not terrible.
I just miss leaves. I miss leaves so much. Like fires in the fireplace and stuff like that. But anyway, we were at the store today, and because it is fall, that means pumpkin spice everything.
Nope.
And we saw pumpkin spice carbonated water.
Yeah.
Which... gross.
Yeah.
No. Ew.
Yeah, no, it's...
Why would that taste good? Who thought that was a good idea?
Look, I've never had a pumpkin spice latte in my entire life.
I'm not a big pumpkin person.
I've never been a pumpkin guy. I think this season I will maybe try a slice of pumpkin pie.
Oh, man, branching out.
I might give that a shot and just see how it is. Because maybe it can't be that bad.
No,
As a pie.
As a
it's
pie.
just pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
But... And look, maybe I might like pumpkin spice lattes.
You might, but they're very sweet.
Well, that's the thing. I can't... Yeah, because I've taken out of my... Maybe that's why everybody likes it so much, because it's so sweet.
Yeah, and a lot of people love pumpkin pie.
What are you looking at?
I was just looking outside because it's a nice day.
I was going to say, is there a pumpkin?
No pumpkins. No, I thought I saw a bird, but I didn't. No, I mean, I'm the type of person, I don't really love pumpkin. I can have one slice of pumpkin pie a year, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm not a pumpkin spice latte type of person. But just the very existence of pumpkin spice carbonated water.
Yeah, that's just weird.
I find that it is an example of man's hubris. It is one of those things that you look at and go, what is wrong with us as a species?
It's just America being like, look at our dick.
Pretty much. I mean, that's kind of like, yeah, it's why? Gross.
How is that refreshing?
Oh, it can't be.
How is that like a thing where it's like you come home from like, you're doing like a hard day's work and you're doing something, you're exercising or whatever.
Cold carbonated water.
You just want something
like
refreshing. It's like, I'm going to slam this pumpkin spice water. Like, yeah. It's like...
Yeah, that's what I don't get. Because, I mean, I can kind of understand why you might want like a pumpkin spice latte.
Water should not be savory.
Yeah. Like a pumpkin spice latte could be like, it's warm. It's very fall. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I could see that. But cold, fizzy pumpkin water?
Or even warm fizzy water. It's just weird.
Gross.
You're just probably supposed to refrigerate it.
I'm assuming you would want to, right? I mean, I guess you could drink it at room temperature, but you're not going to, like, boil it or something.
Look, you can also probably maybe find a use for it in, like, a mixed drink or something.
Honestly, when I first saw that thing, I thought it was, like, a bottle of some sort of, like, oil.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? And then I looked at it again, and it was water, and I was even more horrified.
Well, I was more horrified when I realized it's carbonated.
Oh, yeah, no.
When I realized it was sparkling water, I was like, come on. This is just even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's just got to be weird.
The whole thing's weird. Personally, for me, and it's probably because I am an American, so carbonated water is weird. And I know that's like a big thing in Europe. Because they'll like ask you if you want sparkling or still. I'm like, what do you mean sparkling? No,
I don't need my water.
Give me still.
I just want to drink water.
I want water, like regular water.
I just want water. Yeah, sometimes when people ask me, do you want sparkling? I'm like, no,
No.
just give me water.
No, I do not. I do not want bubbles in my water.
I know there's a drought. Just if you want to ask me for water, just give me water.
Yeah, no.
Fucking, I don't need to drink. If I want sparkling anything, if I want sparkling water, I'll drink a Pepsi or a Coke or a 7-Up.
Yeah.
Because that's what
It's
I like.
clear.
I don't like to know that it's carbonated. I don't think I'll ever get up on it.
No, it's not a thing. Not a thing for me.
No.
So yeah, that was what we experienced today, and that was very upsetting for me as a person. Like on a fundamental level, it was upsetting.
This is why we're good podcasters, because we're telling people a slice of our life. That's what I usually, when people ask me, I was like, well, how do I get my podcast to be better? It's like, well, maybe if you talk about yourself in the beginning a little bit and talk about your day and talk about things that you did, and people will know more about you so they feel more in tune with the rest of your show, for the content, and so they kind of feel they can do that. And usually,
I don't
know if anybody really cares,
I think the only thing that would make our podcast better is if we stopped doing it.
Yeah. But we would disappoint hundreds of people.
Dozens of people.
Well, yeah.
Dozens.
I've thought about it, and like...
What, stopping our podcast?
No, but I'm glad that we do have at least a couple hundred listeners.
No, it's good. I'm happy about it. And I mean, doing this podcast, obviously, like, it's something we do because it's fun.
Yeah.
If it wasn't fun, we would stop doing it, because like we don't have any advertisers. There's nobody paying us money to do this. Like, we're not trying to raise like our profile to get on at midnight or some bullshit. Like,
What do you mean?
what are you trying to get on at midnight?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
except for
I think I have a shot.
Shawn is trying to get on.
I think I have a shot. I know a guy that knows a guy. Let me just put it that way. I know a guy who knows a guy.
I have no chance.
And
but I
they
mean,
might,
like,
who might be like, you know what, that guy's fun. And one day when everybody else has been asked, and it's the last episode.
with the just like out of people.
Yeah, when they're just out of it, because
They
the
just
show
like run through all the people that they could
they've run
possibly
through
on the show.
everybody possibly they can ask. They've asked everybody in the state of California, and I'm the last one. That's it. Anyways,
But yeah, it's as long as it's fun, we'll keep doing it.
it is fun. It is fun. And tell your friend. Look, listeners, tell your friends about the show.
Yeah.
If they're not listening to the show, tell your friends about the show. If you like it a lot every week, don't be. I mean, if you're embarrassed, I understand,
We totally get it.
because we do have some things that we say. Maybe you can recommend a few episodes that.
a lot of swearing. I mean,
the saying.
I'll try
things
not
that
to
are-
swear as much, but I really can't promise.
Well, sometimes these comics are bad. We have to swear. It's necessary. It's 100% necessary. So speaking of comics,
Yeah.
let's get into our selections for this week.
Sure.
And also, I just realized our 100th episode will not be when we planned.
Oh, it's not?
No, because the way that I was looking at our list of episodes, and there's one episode in there that's not technically an episode; it's just a promo.
Oh, okay.
So
I
it
get
kind of throws us off.
Well, that's okay.
I think by a week.
That's all right.
So maybe next week.
We're coming up on it.
Yeah,
Whatever it is, it's soon.
very soon.
Yeah.
And what were we gonna do?
Well, we weren't going to do anything special. I just happened to, I saw, apparently Mindy Kaling, the Mindy Project just had its 100th episode.
Yeah.
And apparently
People apparently watch that show.
Yeah, I guess.
Look, it's on Hulu. That's great. But apparently, people are still watching these shows.
People are still watching it.
Which is look. Look. I like Mindy Kaling. Like, I probably shouldn't say that.
I did not like the Mindy Project that much.
Really?
I watched it and I was just like, meh. It's
I
not
like
for me.
her. I don't really care much. I never watched her on The Office. I never.
No,
watched
I mean it was fine and it
anything
did
like
have
that.
some funny stuff. It was just kind of like meh.
I'm just saying, like, she, has, she's funny, and it's. But I've never it's like any TV show we're talking about.
You know what it is. It was. I feel like they ran out of steam, and that's probably why it got canceled. And it probably should have stayed canceled, because it was one of those ones where they had like a will they won't they like love triangle, and of course they did. And then like after that, they didn't really have anywhere else to go with it.
Yeah, well,
like a lot of TV shows, and they kind of fell into that trap. So that's why I feel like they ended up getting canceled, and Hulu still picked them up. But anyway, that was not the point. Point was that she said when you have 100 episodes, they bake you a giant cake, like a huge cake, like a cake like as big as she is, like very, very tall cake. And I was like, Shawn,
it's a waste of cake, to be honest, because
it's not just for her, it's for the whole crew, it's for the production.
Well, people are gonna get, but you always gonna be a lot of people there.
There's like 100, like I don't know, like dozens of people who work on that show.
There's too many people that work on TV shows.
So yeah, I mean everybody,
which is fantastic.
Like
it's great
the
that people are
best
getting paid.
boy's gonna get some cake, and the grip, and like all the writers, and like the
Baron
makeup
Holtz.
artists, and Ryan Seacrest, if he was there, he would just take a bite and then spit it into the trash.
He comes to anytime you're having a party where you're getting a cake. Ryan Seacrest gets invited just to take a bite, spit it in the trash, and go all the taste, no calories, and then he just leaves.
Yeah,
that's
a Hollywood story.
That's a Seacrest. That's like a famous move.
Yeah, apparently he does this a lot.
Apparently he does this.
Right
He probably does this every day.
I hear that he like goes up to the catering and he'll like eat a giant cupcake, but he won't swallow it and he'll just spit it in the trash because he doesn't want to get fat. But I mean, what kind of life is that? Swallow your fucking cupcake and don't be gross.
Look, if you're gonna eat it, you're gonna eat it. If you're not,
right.
You're not.
And it's okay. It's just one. But anyway, so yeah. And I asked Shawn, I said, well, our 100th episode is coming up. Do we get a big cake? But I think that since we're a podcast, we probably get a stale donut that's been like laying in the break room for days.
I had a dream that I found a half a donut and I ate it.
Well, that half a donut was probably our 100th episode.
I think
donut.
it was. I think I was dreaming about somebody brought a box of donuts, and I kind of like I didn't submit to the donuts until like the very end when like my body was slung over the donuts. Like I was flying over the donuts. Because it's a dream.
Yeah.
And I grabbed a donut, and it kind of like just mushed in my hand. So I didn't really eat it.
I like that it was half a donut because that's such a Los Angeles thing. I've never seen that anywhere else.
Well, people eat half of things.
Yeah, like if there's a box of donuts in the break room, there's always a knife in the box so you can cut them in half.
Yeah.
So you can only eat half the donut. And I'm not sure if that's something that's done anywhere else. I've never experienced it anywhere else except for here.
Yeah.
Where everybody cuts them into little pieces so you can just have a bite.
Yeah. Yeah, that's such a I don't
So
know.
yeah, that's half
As
a
opposed
stale
to me,
donut.
look, we've cut out sugar.
We're
Primarily,
trying to.
we're trying to.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, but
sugar isn't everything. Oh my god.
Sugar. There's a lot of sugar in things, which is really horrible.
Yeah.
But I ate. But I mean, it's a thing. It's like when I would just normally see like, hey, it's a donut. Okay, I'm gonna eat a donut. I'm gonna eat another donut. I'm gonna eat a whole donut. That's what I do. Is I just eat the donut. I don't fucking be like, I'm gonna cut this in half. I'm gonna do this. No. I just eat it. That's what I would do. But then recently, there was a catering shoot. Not catering shoot.
Yeah. They're just shooting catering.
There's like, hey, here's a
Filming
movie.
food.
There's people eating and not kind of eating, But no, it was a movie shoot at at the Improv, and it was a pretty big shoot. So they had hardcore. Apparently, okay. So I learned all about.
Don't bite the microphone.
I learned all about this. You want. So check this out. So apparently, this catering. So when I was there, they had breakfast and they had burritos.
Right, they had breakfast burritos
They had
and
all
stuff.
sorts of stuff. Right.
Oh.
Then they had.
Don't bite the microphone.
Then they had pre-lunch.
Wait, pre-lunch?
Pre-lunch.
What's a pre-lunch?
It was like.
Is this like the Lord of the Rings where it's like 11 Z's or whatever?
Well, it's kind of like I guess
Second
you could
breakfast.
So it's lunch, or pre-dinner, it was pre-dinner.
So is it just like a small snack?
So something like that. But the case of small snack was they had fajitas, like a fajita station. And now this is when I left. I left work and they just busted out the fajita station.
Okay, but that was pre-dinner, and you left at like 6.
Like 5-ish, I think.
Okay, so maybe
Or
it's
4.
like
Maybe it was like I had to leave early that day.
so maybe it's a dinner for the people who
was a
got there
dinner.
early.
It was a dinner.
It's a dinner, and then the actual dinner's at like.
Well, the actual dinner
8:39.
showed up, so then they had fucking like a carving station.
Oh shit!
And then
I'm gonna get working in movies just for the food.
yeah, you could dude. It is,
No one in Hollywood eats.
So they had this,
All
and
that
then they
shit
had
goes
so
away.
then they had a late, and then they had like 2 more meals after that
Snack
for the night. Where they had a slushy machine,
Shit, I want a slushy.
and they had Popeye's chicken, which
Ew,
fuck Popeye's
no,
chicken.
No, thank you.
I'm sorry,
No.
I'm taking a stand. You know.
Did they have biscuits? I like biscuits.
They
though.
probably had some biscuits. They just went all out because if I would have just stayed at work all day, I would have been fed, and I would have been horrifying. All I took advantage of was some fruit, and I had an egg wrap,
Yes.
which was quite good.
Yeah.
And I had an egg bagel, but that was it. That was it. I showed all that restraint,
I'm very proud of you.
and I listened to a woman learn what jicama is.
Oh, I love jicama.
It was quite fascinating.
Quite delicious.
But yeah, it was quite the experience. Anyways,
We're not talking about Hollywood food.
well, we'll say we're just talking about our
We're
life.
talking about comic books.
The first 15 minutes of the show usually is us just talking about bullshit,
Yeah.
and then the
And our
rest of-
cat visiting us
our cat
to make
visit-
sure
'cause we
that
could-
she meows too quietly to get picked up on the microphone, but she likes to
Leela.
podcast with us. She's trying to bite the microphone.
She's very happy right now.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, so let's get into our first book. Our first book is actually brand new to our collection.
Yes.
Because this is the thing. So Jen had to go out and buy
A comic book.
a comic book. She had to get something for like a reading group.
Yeah, and I haven't heard anything from that reading group.
Well, you got to contact them.
I'm going to.
You got to be like, hey,
I was trying to do it like I was trying to. There was supposed to be like a book club full of ladies like reading comic books. I was like, oh sweet, but I haven't heard anything about it. But I read the thing I was supposed to read. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that we had to go get this book. So we went and we stopped by Pulp Fiction, which is a great place, and they have
Pulp Fiction in Culver City.
all the dollar boxes. So of
They
course
always
we had to
do.
take a look.
They don't fuck around. That's a good place. If
Yeah.
you're in Culver City, check them out because they also do discounted trades like all the time.
Yeah.
which is they're really well stocked store,
Yes.
and their Culver City location is quite dope.
So while we were there, happened to see for $1 an issue of Black Lightning, which we don't have any Black Lightning.
No.
So picked it up, and we also picked it up because it was just announced that Black Lightning is going to get a TV show on Fox.
Oh, is that on Fox?
Yeah, it's going to be on Fox. I really hope
It's a Greg Berlanti
Yes,
deal, right?
yes,
Yeah.
it is, and I really hope that he doesn't get Gothamed.
No, they might.
But yeah, so I guess he's going to be on Fox, and it's coming to Fox.
So Black Lightning, we found it's from the original Black Lightning series too, not from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a few things, but Black Lightning number 6 from January 1978. So basically, Black Lightning. Watch out! You're stepping on this comic book we're gonna read.
Don't shit, honey.
She's putting her
It's okay. There we go.
putting her foot in it.
That's what you want.
Oh yeah, you want to smell the Zoom? Okay.
Are you our third co-host? Come here, sweetie.
Oh, she sneezed on it.
Oh,
Ew.
gross! Don't do that. Come here. Don't sneeze. That's gross. Hey.
So so Black Lightning. The story is called One Man's Poison. On the cover, we have Black Lightning punching a dude, beating some people up.
And there's like a guy in the background throwing a dart at him.
And he says, "You're tough, hero, but let's see if you can stand up to this." And he's throwing a dart. And so we get to learn eventually who these people are. So it starts off with Black Lightning. He is doing some surveillance because apparently, so there's this guy Peter Gamby.
Yep.
Gamby, who is, as we learn, is his kind of like a father figure to him because
Yep.
back in the day. So this
We'll see. It gets explained later in the book.
We'll get to explain later in the book, but so this takes. But mind you, this also just heads up. This all takes place in Metropolis, of all
Yes,
places.
in Suicide Slum.
Suicide Slum. So So Superman has shown up at a few points.
Not in this book, though.
Not in this issue, but Superman shows up, Batman shows up. Everybody comes by and pays their tributes.
So there's these two dudes, and they're like in an alley, and they're about to like shake down a warehouse or something. Shake something down. I'm not sure what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they're gonna rob something.
So Black Lightning shows up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn you guys into dog food or whatever."
He says they're gonna turn into doggy bags.
Doggy bags.
So he's gonna like stick them in. He's gonna beat them up and stick them in small bags.
Yeah, or either that, or fold them into a foil swan.
I'm not gonna finish you. Put you in the fridge.
I'm gonna fold you into this foil swan, so people can feel awkward taking you home on the subway.
Well, actually. Oh, I couldn't finish my half a biscuit at Red Lobster. I'm gonna take it home. I do like though that he does do a WWE double clothesline.
Oh yeah, he does.
He
Look
double
at that.
clotheslines these two guys.
Yeah. And can we just mention how ridiculous these two guys look? Like one of them, what's his name? He's called something Fist.
Steel Fist Feeney.
Steel Fist Feeney, and he's just like in this like green and yellow bodysuit with like a
He looks like-
iron fist.
He looks like Geoforce,
Yeah.
but like no mask, and he just looks like a schmuck.
And then
But he's got a metal fist.
yeah. And I guess it's like, I don't know, it's powerful or something. And then the other guy, he's dressed like the 70s idea of like what Native Americans always look like.
No, he's not.
Well, yeah, he's kind of like wearing
He's
like
not Native American.
No, but he's dressed that way. He's got like the
Well, he's just like actually he's dressed, I would say,
and he's got the thing around his head. And
I'm gonna say
like,
he's actually dressed like Shang-Chi from
Oh,
Master
okay.
Kung Fu.
All right, we'll take that
Because he's
too.
throwing ninja stars.
He is.
And here's the thing.
But the ninja stars, I guess they're supposed to be on these like on his lapels almost, but they're drawn in a way that looks like flowers.
Yeah, they're not. He's not drawn very well.
No.
And he's throwing his guy. And actually, this guy's name is Andy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have.
He doesn't have a cool steel fist, blah blah, or like Ninja Star Nancy or whatever his name, or Nathan.
Knifey Andy.
His name could have been Nathan, Ninja Star Nathan.
Ninja Star Nathan and
Yeah.
Steel Fist Feeney.
Sure.
Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
But Black Lightning is he's out there funking these guys up.
Yeah, he's like throwing garbage cans lids at them, and he's punching them, and he's throwing them into each other, and
Because he is an Olympic athlete.
yes,
Olympic
and
athlete.
one of those ninja stars like cuts. It doesn't cut him, but it like cuts the shoulder of his suit, so you can like see the skin through it.
Okay.
And that's important because as he's like defeating these guys, there's somebody up in like a window watching him because these guys are like, well, the boss said, we got to do this. He's like, oh, boss, huh? I bet he knows where Gamby is.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not going to talk.
How does he know that? I mean, I didn't read the issue before this, so I don't exactly know. But it's like he just figures that these two goons are dressed up like idiots are the people that he's going to have to go
it's
after.
the 70s, so everybody just dressed like idiots.
Hey, you look more of an idiot than this other guy. I'm going to
Yeah.
follow you.
Fuck it, everybody's in costume. It's Metropolis, so it's weird.
Oh, yeah, Metropolis has got problems.
So there's this guy like watching this all go down, and he like shoots a dart at Black Lightning, and it hits him right on that patch of skin.
See, now my question is if his clothes didn't get ripped,
I don't think it would have mattered. You could have shot him through.
but it just happens that he
It
gets
just
shot
happens that's open
for the sake of art.
Yeah, I guess that's because they drew it that way.
Yeah.
So. And then the minute
job,
it hits him,
artists.
he just drops. And the goons are like, "Oh, we're gonna finish him off," but then they're like, "No, boss said we're just supposed to, lure him in here, and then we're supposed to leave." So they run away, and then some other dude shows up.
I just like these idiots dressed in just like assholes.
Yeah, well, everybody's in this.
Everybody's just like
whole
assholes in
thing's
this game.
dressed like an asshole.
I mean, I know it's comic books and whatever.
It's comic books. It's also the 70s.
But sometimes you're just like,
So
whatever.
this guy like materializes out of the shadows, and Black Lightning like grabs his throat. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and it's like, "No, don't kill me. It's me. It's 2-Bit Tanner,
2-Bit Tanner.
who's his buddy. Apparently,
2-Bit Tanner. He has all the scoops.
He's his underworld connection.
He's the Dave Meltzer of the underworld.
He is. Yeah. He's got all the info.
I'm like, here, look, I write the Wrestling Observer, but it's for criminals.
That's pretty much what's going on. Because like what happens is he's like, "Hey, Black Lightning, we're those guys got away. Let's stand in this alley and talk for a while. And that's what they do. And he like tells him that the 100, what's going on with
The
this
100s. The
or at least
100s
the people he
basically-
fought before.
So basically, the 100, his biggest foes are the 100, which are basically a group, like a network of mob bosses
Oh, okay.
that have, basically keep things shitty places, like in Metropolis.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So he's like, oh, I guess my fight's catching up with me. He's like, yeah, I found some stuff out tonight, and I just wanted to let you know that things are going to get bad for you. Here, take a look at this newspaper, and of course, it's the Daily Planet, and the headline is Mob puts price. It would be funny if it was Mom puts price on hero's head, but it's Mob puts price on hero's head. 1 million for Black Lightning. So, and then this story was also written by Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen
Somehow wrote a story about the mob putting a bounty on a superhero, and it made the front page.
Well, look,
First off, why the fuck would he even know that?
Well,
No one should have known that, and it shouldn't be on the fucking front
what the
page.
fuck does first of all, how does Jimmy Olsen find this out?
I don't know. He probably take a picture, and I just fell into a fucking hole, and I happened to
I saw
hear.
it on I saw it on one of Clark's in his pocket. He wrote it down. Said he heard it. I don't know how
But,
he heard it.
Why would that be the story? I just don't understand why that would ever get to be front page news, where it's just like, hey, the mob wants $1 million for this guy's head. Let's put it all over the place so everyone in town who might desperately need money will be trying to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Like, what? You're like helping the mob. Why would you do that?
Well, let's be honest. If you've seen Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, you know that the Daily Planet does not have much in terms of
integrity.
Not so much integrity, but organization. Because basically, you got Perry White going around. It's like, Clark, do sports. Talk about. And here's a headline. And here's another headline. All right, I'll see you later.
Write a story to fit this headline.
Write a story to fit this headline.
We're going to be BuzzFeed from now on.
Well, yeah, we're pretty much BuzzFeed.
8 ways the mob wants you to kill Black Lightning. 8 cat gifts that explain mob hatred for Black Lightning.
Oh man, I just would love it if the Daily Planet shows about like BuzzFeed articles. It's like 8 shitty things that you can do. Or trying to think of something for Superman.
6 ways you can get Superman to stop by your house.
6 ways. 6 ways to say hi to Superman.
Yeah.
Paint a big white S on your roof.
Also be in grave danger.
Fall off a building.
7 cats that Superman saved.
7 half-eaten burgers that Batman threw out. We're really reaching for stories, guys.
We really are. This is the worst BuzzFeed.
This is the worst. It's really bad. Well, I mean, that's basically what Daily Planet seems like. He's just like, it's like horror, like, because somebody pointed out in the CinemaSins about how it's like, how the football team was at it, like, it was the drama crash, like a dramatic finish.
Oh, it was like 67-0.
But it was a blowout, you know. And
Perry was just like, I forget what he said.
Because he isn't watching.
But that's not how. But that's not how newspapers work. Because you don't.
That's how this story got written.
Yeah, but you don't if you're not you're on a beat. You're supposed to do the same beat day after day. You don't just go. And now, Shawn, I know
I'm gonna write some cooking.
I know you've been on the crime beat. Sports.
I mean, does it mean that the next day after this, Jimmy Olsen can write a review for the new Phil Collins record?
Sure.
Or for, whatever he's.
Yeah, it's not usually how it works. You're on the education beat, and that's what you do.
He's just going to town halls. He's going to concerts. He's writing everything.
Yeah.
You do it all.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Admittedly, that whole you have to be on a beat thing is one of the main reasons I didn't pursue journalism.
No.
I have a journalism degree. And I was like, no, I don't want to sit through fucking city council meetings. Thank you, though.
Lemon bars were served.
I like comic books. Anyway.
And cats.
And cats.
Can
I be on the cat beat?
There should be a cat beat. I think the cat beat is the most
I'm assuming that's
important
just
beat.
the entire internet at this point.
She go,
She's gonna bite you.
She's gonna bite me. I knew it. Anyways, so we get kind of Black Lightning's origin because it's only we're 6 issues in. He probably tells his origin like every issue.
Sweetheart, don't bite me.
You being attacked?
Yeah. You got her all riled up.
Oh, okay. So he tells his origin about basically how his father was a fruit stand guy, and there was a mob, like a fight between some other guy and a mob guy outside, and he happened to get shot by a stray bullet.
Yeah, so his dad died.
Dad dies,
And
then
his mom was struggling to raise him as a single mother, and then some guy opened up like a little grocery store below their apartment, like in the same building.
Yeah.
And I guess his mom worked there or something.
His
but,
mom
like,
helped his mom help him out. You know,
and that's what's his name? Peter
Gombe.
And he became more like, like a father figure, and like they supported him and like got him to pursue his dreams and go to college and become a teacher or whatever.
So he went, and here's the thing. This is the thing that I had to double check up on this regarding his origin and stuff like that, because it's one of those things when you read up about him, about Black Lightning, and you read up about him and like who's who and stuff like that. It's just Olympic, and it says this about everybody half the time.
Oh, always.
But it's always like Olympic level athlete.
Of course.
But he legitimately, apparently, is in 2 Olympics.
Oh wow! For
he
what?
was for
Hurdles?
running
Track?
he was like a Olympic decathlete.
Oh, okay.
So he's like just a good remember like the
Batgirl.
No, well, probably like Batgirl, but do you remember back in the day they used to have those Dan versus Dave Reebok ads, and it was about those 2 decathletes.
No.
Well, there was like this. I'm horribly dating myself, but around like the '92 Olympics, they had like this Dan versus Dave, and it was like I forgot who they actually were.
Yeah.
But they were these 2 decathletes that were competing against each other in the in the U.S. Olympics. And they kind of had these little campaigns about them, but he was he apparently was a decathlete, and he went to 2 Olympics and won like 2 gold medals.
Oh,
just Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning, and he went to school, became a teacher,
right.
and then he's like 28 around this time.
Okay.
I thought he was much younger, but it makes sense because if he goes to 2 Olympics,
right,
and he was 18,
right. Plus he had to go to school.
And to go to school, so he's 18. I mean, you could reasonably do all that in 10 years.
Yeah.
I will give that a pass.
Sure.
He's done way more in 10 years. I'm trying to think what I did for 10 years.
Oh, we haven't done anything.
I didn't do shit. I worked in radio. I eventually went to grad. By the time, from 18 to 28, I eventually went to, at the end of when I was 28, eventually I was in grad school.
Right.
I met you.
Right.
But all the time before that, I was just fucking around.
Oh, yeah.
Working in radio, hanging out in Buffalo, doing things.
Yeah.
And Black Lightning here went on to win 2 gold medals.
Yeah, no, he was doing shit.
And become a teacher.
Yeah, he was doing shit.
He was
shit. Getting things done.
Yeah, he was getting shit done. So good on him.
Yeah.
So, and then he came home to figure out, shit's going wrong. In my hometown, I'm going to try to make shit right.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do the right thing.
And here's the thing I don't understand about him is that basically, so his powers, I believe at this point, are derived from a belt that he wears.
Okay.
That allows him to create electrical bolts and and manipulate electrical energy, as well as create force fields and stuff like that. Which, mind you, in this issue, he does not do.
No,
barely.
He does not.
He barely does anything.
Yeah. He kicks a little bit of ass, but he doesn't actually use like the lightning power.
He uses his force field.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yep.
And but then apparently at one point they just went, well, he doesn't have the belt anymore. He can do it through his body, and nobody knows how he can do that. It just all of a sudden was like, yeah, you can do that.
You're just a metahuman. Congratulations.
He's just a metahuman. He's just, that's it. And Batman was like, all right. Everybody was just like, all right, you want to join my group? Yeah, I got a group. Come on.
Yeah, all right.
Spread.
Come on over.
So, yeah. Anyway, so he's basically moping about talking to this guy.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, you didn't have to tell me that. He's like, no, man, I just needed a friend. He's like, okay. And then we see them walking down the street, and then we see a hand come and pick up that dart.
Yeah.
Because apparently they're terrible at, like, noticing that there was a dart laying in the goddamn alleyway where they were standing for 25 minutes. So anyway, so then we cut to...
So now we cut to the police... I think he's the police officer.
Police commissioner or something.
Police commissioner.
And he's, like, talking to his son, and he's like, oh, son, we're going to go raid this place tonight. But don't worry,
And his son is funny because his son looks like he's, like, 30.
Yeah, and his son's, like, wearing, like, a robe. He looks like Hugh Hefner.
Well, this is what... it gets very confusing in a second.
Yes. So his son's like, oh, be careful, Dad. He's like, oh, I will. I'll let the young officers take the chances.
And I'll tell you... No, he's telling him everything. It was like...
Yeah, like what he's going to do.
Since when does police dad tell...
Well, not only that, but like they're like, we are going to do a surprise raid on this warehouse tonight.
Not really surprised because I'm telling you. But,
You're right. But it's okay, son. Like, you're not supposed to tell your family this sort of shit. So he leaves, and then the son's face, like, goes from, like, wide-eyed, dorky Jimmy Olsen type to, like, dude who's seen too much type. And,
yeah,
like
he literally his face changes. Like, I mean, granted,
now
his
he looks like a
changes.
hardened dude. Like,
His
he looks like
expression
a guy.
but then his hair gets all like
His
weird.
Yeah, that's the thing. His hair gets all messy, and it kind of gets longer.
Like, is he a shapeshifter?
I guess
It's so strange.
Yeah.
I was hoping you catch on that too.
No, I did. I was like, because he like.
I had to go back and be like, is that the same guy?
Yeah, the way they were drawing him, he was just like this, fresh faced like teenager kid. And then the minute his dad walks out, now he's got like,
see you later. I packed you a lunch.
Deep lines around his mouth, and his hair's all different, and he's just like, so angry. Oh, so much rage.
Yeah, he becomes angry son, and he calls in a tip.
Yeah, he calls the place they're gonna raid, and he's like, I got a tip for you tonight.
I'm gonna ruin it.
So then we cut over to Black Lightning, who's teaching Shakespeare to some kids.
Which also, mind you, by the way, his mask and stuff like that, that's also like the afro, that's also part of his mask. If that make it, I just want to make sure that made sense to you.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes
because
sense.
it kind of, you could probably look at it as like, how does the hair look, compared to the rest of it? It's like, no, that's part of the
I
costume.
get it. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
he's got a, it's like a, yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, kids,
It's like drag queens.
Yeah, it's like a wig. It's fine. It's lace. It's a lace.
I think one of your drag queens should do Black Lightning.
They
should make them do a superhero.
They do have cosplay queens.
But I know, but they should make like on RuPaul's Drag Race. They should do like an episode where it's just like you got to become like.
They've done that.
Have they?
Not. They've done superheroes and villains, but they did not do like trademarked ones. Probably because they would have to pay to use that sort of thing. Even though this season, RuPaul keeps saying, "With great power comes great responsibility." I'm like, isn't that trademarked by Marvel? But I don't know. Maybe she's paying for it. Anyway, but yes, they have done like we're gonna be superheroes and villains, and they've done like a comic book type thing.
Okay.
Like they did Wrestlers one.
They did Wrestlers,
Yes.
which
I made you watch.
Which I enjoyed actually very much.
They were really good wrestlers.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, drag queens are.
They're pretty much just like wrestlers.
It's pretty much just like wrestling, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so much like wrestling.
Oh my god, it is. It's just over the top characters who wear crazy costumes.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So anyway, so Black Lightning's apparently okay. So we found out basically he's an English teacher.
Yeah,
and apparently his ex-wife works there.
Well, that's the thing because the principal comes in and he's like,
I don't. Oh, go ahead.
And the principal's like, "Hey there, Jefferson. So you're such a great teacher.
So good.
I love you. You're just amazing.
So
you're
good.
like making these kids study Shakespeare or whatever. But there's a problem, and the problem is there's some animosity between you and another teacher, and that other teacher
is your ex-wife. Oh shit!
And
Watch out, ex-wife.
Black Lightning's like, I'm not going to be nice to her. Meh. And the principal's like, I don't know why he's not nice to you. And she's like, didn't you know that we were married? And she's like crying.
You didn't see that in like the application and stuff?
Right.
I mean, I figured I probably would have known.
Whatever.
But apparently this principal's dumb.
So then in this part,
did we skip a page?
No.
Oh, that's
There's
ads.
a lot of ads in this book. And then we get a narration box and like some cityscape, and it says, we shift our scene now from the darkness in a woman's heart to the darkness that settles over Metropolis. And I'm like, dude, let's be fucking 100% clear here. Divorce is so rarely one-sided. You can't just say that divorce is some one person's fault exclusively. It takes two people to fuck up that relationship. So, yeah, maybe that she, like, wronged him in some way, but I'm sure he's not fucking innocent in this divorce. Right?
He's wearing a belt that has zappies on it.
Yeah, like, who knows? I don't know why they got divorced. Maybe it was a good thing.
It's all the lady's fault.
She's got darkness in her heart for turning her back on Black Lightning.
How dare she?
So then we cut to, in this guy's outfit, man. So we cut to a warehouse
This guy.
where Gamby is tied to a pole, and he's being held hostage by a guy named Syonide.
Syonide.
And Syonide.
But he's not spelled cyanide. Cyanide is spelled Syonide.
Yeah.
E.
And
Syonide.
He's got He-Man hair.
He does have He-Man hair.
He-Man hair. He's got like a crown, kind of. Tiara, question mark. And then he's got like his it's pink and it's got like a real V-neck, very 70s.
He's got like a fuchsia and like, or it's like, purple and blue.
And he's got like two Wolverine
deep V, and he's got
claws sticking out of his wrist. And then he has thigh-high boots.
Oh man,
It is, and he's got white trim on his costume. It's a statement.
this guy was like, "Look,
I'm going for it.
I'm going for it."
You know what? If I'm going to do a fucking superhero, I am going for it.
if I'm going to go as costumed criminal,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to wear this everywhere, and I'm going to
well,
demand
that's the
respect.
thing. He has a point. If you're going to dress up in a costume, you might as well go for it,
Yeah,
right? So he did. So anyway, Cyanide's like, I know that you have some secret that you're keeping from Black Lightning, whatever.
dun dun dun.
And Gabby's like, oh no, he knows, or whatever.
He knows.
And then, so we cut to these two idiots.
I like that these
earlier.
idiots are just walking around in the street,
They're just like, man, we shouldn't be here. What if Black Lightning comes?
dressed like they're like low rent Geo Force, like Party City Geo Force, and Party City Shang-Chi.
Yeah. And they're just like walking around. They're like, we could just get out of town. And Black Lightning's like, no, you can't, because here I am. It's me, Black Lightning. And then Syonide shows up with like an electric whip.
Apparently, he's also Catwoman.
Yeah, he's also Catwoman. And he's like, haha, it's me, Syonide. And I'm going to get you, Black Lightning.
He's a fop. He's a dandy fop.
He even admits to it.
I kind of wish he was played by Paul F. Tompkins
Yep. Actually, I think this...
or Michael Ian Black.
It would be perfect if he was played by Paul F. Tompkins, except he would have to have like a bow tie.
But the whole costume.
he called himself-
But the bow tie as well.
Yeah.
The purple bow tie.
Yeah. And he says, for the record, Black Lightning, the boss is known as Syonide, flamboyant though that cognomen may be. I don't know what that means. But yes, so he's super flamboyant.
Oh, he is.
And he admits to being flamboyant.
He is a dandy of a man.
He really is. So, Syonide, like, he has like an electric whip or something. Oh, it's an electric bullwhip. And he's like whacking Black Lightning.
This guy doesn't know what the hell he is.
No.
I like him, but he's just like...
Oh, he's just like an amalgamation.
I'm Wolverine, but I'm also Blacklash.
Yeah, he's an amalgamation of characters is what he is.
I'm also... I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
a dandy, wonderful idiot.
Yeah, with He-Man hair. And
He-Man.
Black Lightning is like, oh, I gotta get my force field up. And he pulls the guy's whip out of his hand and he calls him Fruit Boots.
Fruit boot.
Which is funny.
He's jive talking.
And then he punches him in the face. And so they're just fighting.
So mind you, the whole time, he has had plenty of chances to zap the fuck out of somebody.
Right, and he's not doing it. He just puts his force field up.
He's not doing any of it.
But then he starts fighting with, like, not only Syonide, he's also fighting the other two guys. And he pretty handily, like, kicks their asses.
He's an Olympic level athlete.
Yeah.
And he's also good at fighting.
Right, and he's kicking everybody's ass. And he knocks Cyonide's
I have a question.
Wolverine
I have some
claws out of
questions.
his hand.
I have some questions, though. Maybe I should have researched this a bit more. But because he's got this belt, and the few times he does this, he's like throwing dudes by like 1 foot.
Yeah.
Like he's slinging people around like it's nobody's business.
So does it make him super strong?
I don't know. I mean, I understand that you could be skilled as a fighter and like, having like, judo experience and stuff like that. But at this point, he does not.
Right.
Because, probably it wasn't until he started hanging out with Batman and the Outsiders, he could probably become more, adept at stuff like this. But he's like throwing dudes with one arm, like he's doing the Batman throw the.
Well,
thing, and I'm like,
it could be that he's like, and I'm sure if like he explained it, he'd be like, I'm using their own momentum against them.
I know, but you can't necessarily
do that all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, and not every instance is like that here.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's very strong because he's a superhero, and so they fight.
No excuse.
They fight. He knocks the Wolverine claws out of Cyanide's hand, and then Syonide just says, "Stop where you stand," and Black Lightning freezes, and he says, "I can't move," and he says, "Of course you can't. I injected you with this serum yesterday." And is a mind-numbing serum, which needs to be activated by adrenaline. And now that I took the mind control serum, and so you're under my control now. Ha 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 ha.
Wait. So he injected him with
Yes.
the mind control
This
serum.
is what it says. Your defeat was assured last night, even as you battled my pitiful lackeys by this simple dart. It was filled with a mind-numbing serum which, once activated, would put you totally in the power of anyone who'd taken the corresponding mind control serum.
That's a lot of work.
The activating agent was nothing more than simple adrenaline, which you yourself supplied. It's over, Black Lightning. And then he slaps him across the face. He's like, I'm going to go ahead and get that.
He is a fop. He's like, I challenge you to a duel.
Pretty much. I wish he took his glove off and hit him with it.
He should have.
He's like, I'm going to get my $1 million reward. And he's like, but what about Gamby? And he's like, oh, don't worry about him. But I understand your overwhelming concern for the man who killed your father.
Oh, shit.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, shit.
Wah, wah, wah.
So that's Black Lightning.
Yeah, Black Lightning.
And
He apparently, knows that his father figure killed his dad. And
He knows now.
whatever.
That's the secret.
Did you see the answer question? The question and answer thing.
No, hold on.
There's a little question and answer segment. It's all about Superman stuff. It's all stuff that you kind of already figured out. There's something in there particularly dumb in there. I was kind of hoping for something dumb, but yeah, because apparently Superman's movie's coming out around this time.
Oh, okay.
So they're like,
That
hey,
makes
what about can Superman go and meet Superboy? It's like, no, you can't. That would cause a time cop thing.
Why is it that Van Z is a double for Superman? I don't even know if he still exists anymore.
Well, at this point, no, because fucking Crisis was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, it's just really weird and a coincidence.
we don't understand what we're doing either.
No.
I like the one where it's like, how come he hit Supergirl? It's like, because he was training her.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure he was. Training her.
Will you ever make a book on how Superman was originated with the first drawings and photographs as well? What?
Yeah, they made some sort of fart edition,
Sure.
treasure
Nobody
edition.
cares. So yeah, that's Black Lightning. Black Lightning,
Number 6.
number 6 from January
1978.
1977.
No, 78.
Wait,
That's an 8.
that's a 7.
That's an 8.
It's a 7.
No, it says January 1978.
Oh, I was looking over here.
You're looking at the wrong one.
Oh, I see.
Black Lightning, number 6, January 1978. Black Lightning, number 6, volume 1, January 19... Wow, it's just what it says.
January 1978. Oh, weird. Copyright 1977.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Difference. Yeah, so 78. Would you read the next issue?
Probably not.
I would.
Really?
Yeah, I don't mind it. You know,
I'm bored by him.
You know I love comic books in this era.
But it's not... But they're not even... But some of these could be boring.
Some of them
This is boring. I mean, he's boring. And I don't even understand. His powers aren't even consistent.
Well, I think you'd have to read more about him to understand his powers.
I did read more about him. I'm still bored. And he doesn't even use his powers in this issue. He has a force field for like a second.
You really don't. You've got some range.
No, I'm just saying. I just don't find it very interesting.
Okay, fair
I mean,
enough.
maybe
I
look-
wouldn't mind reading the next issue.
I like him as a part of a team book.
Sure, I don't mind.
I like
it.
him. I like him on The Outsiders, and he's been in Justice League before. So he's had his share of teamwork things, and he proves himself to be pretty good in those books. But I'm just not interested in a solo book from him.
Okay, well that's cool, but I'd read it.
All right. Well, we're split.
I like you. There's so many books that I wouldn't read that you would, and then when I would read it, you get like personally offended.
I'm not offended.
You're like, no, he's boring. Why would you want to do that?
I'm not boring. I'm just sticking up. I'm just sticking up for my point.
And I completely agree with your point. You are more than welcome not to read anymore, but I would read more.
All right.
All right.
Toss. All right. Well, that's it for Black Lightning. We'll be back with the next book.
Hey, what up, peeps? It's Jessie Mae Peluso here to tell you about my podcast, The Sharp Tongue, heard each week right here on the Sideshow Network. Every episode is a slice of my life as a touring comedian, and I'm bringing you my favorite funny and interesting friends to talk about whatever is on our minds. I talk about road stories, I talk about horror movies, music, putting fingers in buttholes. Everything you ever want to talk about is right here. It's A Sharp Tongue with me, Jessie Mae Peluso, every week on iTunes and the Sideshow Network. Download, rate, and subscribe, and tell a friend to check us out, because we need validation. And by we, I mean me. I'm alone here in the studio.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever here on Sideshow Network. Going to bring you our next joint here, our Marvel selection for the week. And it is a book that I've had for fucking ever.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I own this book. It's Felicia Hardy, The Black Cat. It's not just The Black Cat. It's Felicia Hardy, The Black Cat, #1 from July 1994. It is the first issue of her first ever miniseries. I don't even know why I'm surprised because I have owned this book for over 22 years.
Okay.
That's crazy to say, but legit. And I found this last year when I went home to Buffalo, and apparently my brother still held on to it. Mm-hmm. And we decided to take it with us. And I don't even remember why I would have bought it. Because, I like I think maybe back in the day, maybe I liked Spider-Man. But, I just can't see myself or my brother buying it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's cool that we did.
Maybe somebody gave it to you.
Who would give it to me?
I don't know.
Did I steal it from Benny?
Sure.
I don't know.
Maybe somebody left it at your house or something, or I don't know. Maybe it came in like a pack. Did you buy a mystery pack?
No, because I would have bought this back when it first came out, back in 1994.
Well, I don't know.
And this probably wouldn't have been in a pack because it was brand new.
Maybe it was super cheap. Maybe you're just like, cheap.
Well,
or maybe you were like, yeah, Black Cat, sexy.
It's possible. That's you know what? I'm going to say.
I think we figured it out.
I might have looked at this and might have had
Titties.
Would have been like, hey.
Tits.
I like the way these breasts are drawn. Here's my $1.50 CVS. Thank you. Because I probably would have bought it because they used to sell comic books at CVS.
Oh, man.
And it used to be a thing I used to do, is go there and occasionally buy a comic book, until I realized there was a comic book store in my neighborhood that I was able to ride my bike to. I would get in trouble for riding my bike to. It was called Flight into Fantasy.
Uh-huh.
And there was a South Buffalo location. There was also where my college was, which I don't know what it's called, but it's another location in Buffalo. And I drove down there, or I didn't drive. I had to ride my bike down there occasionally, and that's where I would go and fuck around with comic books back in the 90s. My parents didn't like us going. My parents didn't like me going anywhere.
Yeah, fair enough.
They didn't like me going into South Buffalo or just walking over those places. But I wanted to because,
comic books.
I wanted to go see comic books. So we would do that. And I had many good times back then doing it.
Yeah.
It was a good time. So that's where... But I don't know if I would have got this from there. That is my story.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Tits. I think that's why I bought this.
You seem all bored with me telling the story.
I'm not bored with it. I was just listening to you.
Oh, okay. I was reminiscing about my childhood.
No, and I enjoyed it very much. It's just I don't.
1994 Shawn with a wispy mustache, riding his bike that he got from his sister, so it had pink brake wires on it because his other one got broken. I was riding my sister. Yeah, I rode a 10-speed. I rode my sister's bike.
Yeah. Well, it's a bike.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You can make fun of me. I don't care.
I'm not making.
It wasn't like a Huffy with a banana seat kind of bike.
I had one of those.
I know. Yeah, most people did.
Yeah, I did. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, but I rode that bike to the comic book store and made sure nobody stole it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had to lock up my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, I didn't have anywhere cool to go. We just had that like little shopping plaza.
Yeah.
Then it had like a grocery store and it had a Hallmark. So and a Circle K. We'd go to Circle K a lot, and man, that guy hated us so much because we'd like pay for things in pennies.
Well, when you're a 10 or 14-year-old kid,
Yeah, well,
it's not like you have
a job.
You don't have a job. You have cash. You don't have disposable cash. You have coins.
I sure don't. I just have like whatever I managed to save from like babysitting and shit.
That's how you're paying for your little sodas.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, all by herself.
And this is issue number 1.
Issue number 1. And here we go.
It's kind of stupid because it starts out with like Felicia's just like, oh, I'm having relationship problems.
Yeah.
I need to go find somebody to talk to about my relationship problems.
Guys, this panel, this whole book
Tits.
is, well, yes, but also it fails a Bechdel test.
Oh my God.
Horribly.
All she does is think about like her relationship. I mean, and it's
when she's not
and it's obviously written by a man. He's just like, this is what women think about nonstop. And you're like, you know what? You would be shocked to know how little women actually think about this shit when we have other things to do with our time. You know, like she's got like career shit she needs to focus on and like superheroing.
At one point she does talk about career shit and then it's interrupted by a man.
Well, it's just interrupted by her thinking about her relationship. Like, literally the only reason she's gone out tonight is because she wants to find Peter and talk to him about her problems. Like, that's it. She's like, I gotta go, bitch. Oh, my God. So she's, like, running around.
You know what? Doc Samson is a licensed superhero psychiatrist. You want to talk to somebody, talk to him.
Right?
Don't find stupid-ass Peter Parker.
Not to mention, like, you're out, like, we see later that they know each other, like, in real life outside of their superhero shit. Like, why can't you just call him on the phone if you want to talk to him? Why are you like, I gotta go jump around rooftops and try to find somebody to talk to about my relationship?
Given how Spider-Man is in this issue.
Oh, Spider-Man's an idiot. So anyway, she stumbles upon Spider-Man fighting a guy named Cardiac. Cardiac
has shown up in a few books that I own.
He looks ridiculous.
Cardiac is extreme 90s.
Oh, he's so nice. He's got belts all over everything. He's got belts on his boots. He's got belts on his thighs.
Oh, wow. I didn't see the belts on his boots.
Yeah, he's got belts on his boots.
What goes in those belts? Are those like, I mean, maybe they're extra battery charges for his beta rod? Because he has like, basically, he's dressed like, I admittedly, I do like his costume.
Yeah,
it is kind of blue and white.
90s.
It's kind of, it's like, it's
he looks like Superman blue.
Kind of, but he's also got one of those masks. Yeah. Like those face masks that somehow also contours to like
the face.
His entire face.
It's like face paint.
It's basically like face paint. Like, I don't know how that works because it contours to his face, like to every like nook and cranny of his face.
Everything.
It's kind of like, Catwoman as drawn by Jim Ballant.
Yeah.
Like her outfit that somehow fits.
Is not actually cloth.
Is not actually cloth, but it fits underneath her breasts.
Yes.
And like into every crevice of her body.
Yes.
Like
it's paint, basically.
It's basically paint.
Like, I don't know where, like, this is what I never understood about all the pouches. I feel like, what do you put in those?
Well,
because like I would feel that if I had that many pouches, I would be intimidated because now I have to find things to put in them.
Maybe there are a lot of them are empty, and maybe.
Well, that's the thing. I would have all these empty pouches, and I'd feel stupid. So I'd have to have like a gum pouch. Like,
Well, look,
like
I'm assuming that
keys. Do you put your keys in one of the pouches?
maybe it's something where, and I wish this is probably never shown.
some cash.
But he had, well, probably maybe
So you
yeah,
used up at Starbucks.
yeah, maybe he's got some cash.
Yeah.
Probably one of those pouches has cash, but that's like one pouch.
Right, that's the thing. That's what I mean. There's so many pouches.
One pouch has at least a roll of 20s in it.
And it has to. And then, like, his little stick thing uses uses some sort of, like, beam of electricity.
beta
So it's not like
ions
he
and-
needs pouches for bullets.
Right, but
So
maybe
what
he
does
needs
he
pouches for his beam. That's what I'm thinking is that he needs about. However, let's point this out. I am looking at his outfit. He has a ring of pouches.
Yes.
On his at the top of his gloves.
Yes.
Around his forearm.
Yeah,
right.
so that's on both arms.
Both arms. He has a ring of pouches
On each
on his
thigh.
upper thigh, both thighs.
Both thighs.
And he has a ring of pouches around the top of his boots on
Both
both
boots.
boots. So he has at least
Oh, he's got to have at least, like, 50 pouches.
let's say I'm looking at, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5, I'm assuming. So there's 10 pouches per ring. So he has at least 60 pouches.
He's got 60 pouches. That's what I mean. Like, and he's not shooting bullets. So what is in there? Like Tylenol, like Band-Aids,
You know what? This is
Neosporin. Like, what do you put?
I mean, maybe Neosporin, maybe a Band-Aid.
I mean, it would make sense.
Maybe some
Band-Aids.
pills, maybe some Tylenol, maybe
Got a little
maybe some
sewing kit just in case he rips something.
maybe some crazy glue to close it, medical crazy
yeah.
glue.
Yep.
You know, maybe
some
he's
super
pulling a
glue.
Sabu.
Yeah. I mean, like, but seriously, like, what else? Like, granola bars.
Do you think maybe some no-dos?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Some trucker
he's out
some
all
trucker
night.
some trucker amphetamines?
He is out all night, and I mean, I don't know if he would be because Cardiac is really anti-pharmaceutical company.
Oh, yeah.
So
No,
I
he's
don't
probably not
think
messing with the no.
He's probably doesn't. He probably has like some sort of like, organic like herbal compound that does the same thing. But he's definitely not messing with no-dos.
Yeah, he's probably getting this stuff from like a local commune.
So do you think he also has like pamphlets on like not vaccinating your children? Are those?
He's got
like,
Jenny McCarthy's phone number in one
Yeah.
of his pouches.
He does. He's got little cards with links to websites about how
He's got little
vaccine.
flyers.
Yeah, he does. just in case he's just like out and about and somebody needs one. I mean, maybe
Well, it's pre-internet, so he's got to spread the word somehow.
yeah. I mean, he probably makes like he probably prints those flyers in his basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
He's fighting Spider-Man.
he's fighting Spider-Man. He's trying to zap Spider-Man.
And
Spider-Man's
like, hey, maybe you shouldn't break into this place, and because there's like people inside, and also it's wrong. And he's like,
there's hardworking people in this building.
He's like, you're on their side. You're getting kickbacks. Blah 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 blah. So he's crazy. He's an internet commenter, is what he is. Basically, like he's just.
Oh man, he's Tumblr come to life.
Yeah. He
Watch out.
He's Kinja in every form. So he like.
4chan, the man.
Yeah, pretty much, and like, he's the worst of Reddit, and like. Black Cat's like, let me help you, and so they start fighting.
Yeah, Black Cat just shows up and he's like, yeah, Spider-Man's like, oh, look, it's Black Cat. All right.
Whatever. And so they start fighting this guy.
And they're spitting out all sorts of rhetoric, and I'm like,
They
shut
just
up.
Talk, blah, blah.
Shut up.
blah,
I mean,
blah,
why do you
blah.
have so many pouches?
I don't know. She knocks him backwards, and I guess knocks him into an air conditioning vent, and he comes out, and like Spider-Man punches
He won't
him.
die. Yeah, he won't stay down. He's just like, "Bah!"
No, and then he blows up the air conditioner, so there's a big explosion.
Yeah. Yeah, his baton, because his juice baton is just, zapping everywhere.
Right.
He's haphazardly. He does not like this
He does not give a
pharmaceutical
fuck.
thing.
And then I guess like he has a glider, so he summons it and he like flies away. Black Cat's gonna go after him, but Spider-Man is not. So she like drops back down to the roof and she's like, I thought we were gonna go get him. And he's like, I'm basically making a giant ball of web because I need to contain fire. I don't know what he's doing.
He uses his webbing for just about everything.
Yeah.
To do a lot of stuff, and apparently, I mean, his webbing is not flammable, even though it's like
Sure.
filled with chemicals.
Yeah.
How he's figured? I mean,
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It's magic, basically.
Magic webbing. And
then he, like, blames her for this whole thing. He's like, yeah, it's your fault that this guy blew up the air conditioner. I'm like, this guy wanted to, like, burn this whole place down. Like, what the fuck are you blaming her for? And he's like, well, I don't want to talk. What did you want? She's like, nothing.
Well, she thankfully uses her claws because she's like, well, I know how to use.
I
know electronics because I'm a thief.
Because there was like a bomb, so she like
not a bomb. It was like an exposed.
Exposed wire. So she like cuts it.
Yeah, she did a good job.
And that's when he's like, "This is all your fault."
He's like, nah.
And she's like, "You suck, Peter."
And it's great because this is what kills me because he's like, he's talking. There's like the little notes about like. He's like, oh man, I'm having so many problems, and it's like, read Spider-Man's other books these days for all the
see his problem.
And you know what? I'll tell you what. I looked up his other books. He's having some problems with some people that are dying and stupid. He's just being a wreck. And Ascenti's writing one of those books.
Oh man!
So you can imagine how.
But it's 94. It might have been actually coherent.
It might have been before she lost her mind.
Yeah, man, she really did.
Although I'll tell you what, though, I read the rest of that Beauty and the Beast book.
And it got weird.
I was like, I was all right at first, and then it got weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
And did B start saying things that had no cause?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, what did you just say that for? It literally has no meaning.
There's some stuff in there that I'm like, yeah, I can see why Jen's got a problem with her.
Oh, yeah. No, she got weird. And I don't know if it's like drugs or
drugs.
What. Like, something's going on. I don't even know what she's doing now. It was just like she got fired off Catwoman and Katana, and that was it. I haven't heard anything about.
Oh, that's right.
since.
Katana was a book,
and it was a disaster because it was written by Ann Nesenti.
Yeah, what is she up to?
Oh,
maybe she'll write
rehab. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe we should be saying that we think she might be on some influence.
Well, you know what I'm going to say. I'm sticking. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but if you read her books, it's kind of hard to think that she wasn't under some sort of influence.
Yeah.
Or having some or something else was going on and needed help for it.
Yeah. Well. So anyway, she's like, he's like, it's like, Spider-Man, I want to talk to you about problems, and he's like, nah, I don't want to talk about problems.
I have problems.
I got problems.
She's like, you didn't invent problems. He's like, yes, I did, man. And so like he just like web slings away, and she's like, you know what? I wouldn't trust you anyway. Which you were just looking for him, and now all of a sudden you're like I was gonna trust you. I don't know.
No, sure. she's upset because she lost
her boyfriend.
She lost. She was supposed to get a bounty for him, I guess.
Oh, for cardiac.
Yeah,
but that wasn't even the reason.
She's presuming she's like, it's probably a bounty on Cardiac's
she's
head.
Just guessing.
No, I can't get it.
She didn't set out with the purpose of finding Cardiac.
Maybe Ann Nesenti did write this
with the purpose of finding Spider-Man. And so all of a sudden, some dude shows up on the roof.
Yeah, this guy. Fuck this guy.
And he's like, hello, Black Cat, I'm Random Guy.
I'm Paul Proust.
And I want you to help me steal whatever Cardiac wanted to steal.
He just shows up he just somehow...
He literally appears out of nowhere.
The building, there's still people in the building.
Right.
So he probably was like, man.
His story is like, I work in the building and I wanted to come up and thank you for stopping Cardiac.
How did he know that there was a fight? How come he just didn't walk up? It's like, Jesus Christ, there's this giant...
Because he's the guy from the end of the book.
I know he is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all it's evidently it's bullshit. But it's like bad bullshit. It's like no one should ever believe this bullshit. You know what I mean? Like this guy showed up and he was like, "I'm just randomly on this rooftop and I wanted
Black
to
Cat should be much
you.
smarter than
and
this.
she really should. But she's like, "I'm heartbroken, so I'm stupid." Like
he's all like, "I'll give you money."
Yeah.
She's like, dollar signs.
And so he's like, by the way, you can't trust Spider-Man because, look, he left a tracker on you.
Yeah,
because apparently he makes spider trackers.
Yeah, Spider-Man's like Batman, but stupid.
Yeah, so...
That's my description of Spider-Man.
Yeah, pretty much. And so then she's like, oh, well, maybe, whatever. And so the next...
So then, real quick, we get
what happens.
We get a cut scene to some... hospital in New York's upstate New York, and I don't know who they're testing on. I assume it's some sort of Spider-Man villain that I would know, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. Some guy, I'm assuming Scorpion, ?
Sure.
Apparently he's been slashed by Wolverine in the face, and the police are watching him, and he comes to life or whatever. I don't know. Don't worry. You
It
have to
doesn't
read
matter.
the rest of the series to figure it out.
Yeah, because this doesn't matter. So then we cut to the next day. Black Cat and Mary Jane are hanging out in Black Cat's apartment.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you going to do now that you don't have like a man or a job? And she's like, I thought I'm going to be a model. And Mary Jane's like, that's a young woman's game. Because I guess she's no longer a model because she's old, ? I have no idea. Sure.
I feel like any book I've read for Spider-Man, she's always been a model. When did she stop being a model?
I don't know if she is or not, but doesn't she say it's for a much younger woman?
Well, she's just saying that, but I don't know why.
But then like you turn the page and it's just like, ouch, you're not letting the jealousy get to you, are you? Like, so obviously something's happening in the world of Mary Jane's modeling career, which I'm sure is riveting, by the way.
Well, I mean, yeah, apparently.
The fact that Peter Parker, whose life is just like a fucking disaster, constantly dates a goddamn supermodel is so stupid.
Spider-Man has been punching above. He is the prime example of punching above his weight.
Yeah.
He is the comic book poster boy of punching above your weight.
Yes, he is. Because he's not even like nice most of the time. He's like whiny and self-obsessed. Like he's just.
I don't know. I don't know why she puts up with him.
Right?
Anytime I've read a Spider-Man book and I'm always like, he's always like, man, she's just like, oh, I'm trying to be,
I
trying to be
love
cool.
you.
I'm trying to be cool, and
Why?
I'm trying to be Mary Jane. I'm trying to be supportive, and I'm this beautiful redhead. And
where's he like?
And I was gonna be in some. Remember, was that one you read where I think it was it was a Spider-Man where she was gonna be like in a nude scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger or something.
Oh, I don't remember. Probably.
Yeah. She's trying to acting.
Yeah. So like as they're talking, like all of a sudden Peter Parker just like web slings his way in.
This is
looking
so
really grizzled, by the way.
Yeah.
Looking very Kurt Russell. He really does. He's got like a 5 o'clock shadow, and his hair's like falling in his eyes. He's
I was
like,
gonna say all this stuff before this though is just so like women be talking.
Yeah, women be
and then he
talking.
swings in and he's like, women be talking.
yeah, women be talking. Oh, by the way, I've just been everything's so terrible for me, Spider-Man. I'm so tired. Let me just wreck your entire apartment. And he like knocks over the coffee table, and tea and shit goes flying everywhere.
He's being because he's like, oh my god, you're exhausted. And he looks like he's about to take he's just kind of like clenching like he's gonna take a shit or something.
Yeah,
he's like, oh,
he's like
I'm so
bent over,
tired.
just like really, just like clenching, and she's like, "Why were you tracing me?" And he was like, "Oh, like I put it on you, but I deactivated it." Sure, and so
Don't you have a job to go to?
I don't
Shouldn't you
even
be taking
know.
pictures and getting money?
That's the
so
thing.
so Mary Jane, because obviously Mary Jane's not a model anymore. How the hell are
I
you
don't even know.
paying for shit?
you guys live in New York, like, but it's in 94, so maybe it's not that as expensive. The Black Cat's like, "Here, take Flash's coat so you can walk home in your costume."
This, yeah, I know. Which of course shows his gloves.
Yeah.
And his feet. And it
And
covers
his
cover his feet. Did she give him boots?
I don't know. And so they leave, and like her apartment is like a
They go-
disaster. Like her couch looks like somebody jumped on it for a day. Like,
She should like just be like.
get out.
She should just be like, "What the fuck you doing, you idiot?"
Yeah, like why did you want to talk to him? Like he just literally staggers in, knocks over your shit, and leaves. Like that's it. That's all he does. And why is he coming to your apartment in the first place? Why is he going to his?
He should just went home. He's just like, "I'm tired." Knock over stuff.
Give
Oh no,
me
because
clothing.
he traced her back.
But
I don't know.
that other weird guy took the tracer off.
Yeah.
So he leaves. Mary Jane leaves
Yeah,
with
let me
him
just-
because somebody.
He's
has
like, he's doing
to-
this whole thing where he's like, "Can't stop now. Work has to be done." I'm like, "Are you Batman?
Yeah, shut up. Go
you
to
are
sleep.
Batman. You suck."
Yeah, go sleep. So this is where the phone rings, and it's that creepy guy, and he's like, did you decide you want to do the job? And she's like, sure. And he's like, all right, check your
No, he doesn't
account."
call. He calls her. He calls him.
Right, that's what I said.
She calls him.
Oh, she calls him. She calls him and says, I'm going to do the job. And she's like, cool.
He's like, "I give you money." She's like, "Triple the
Money?
fee." And he's like, "I give you money."
Yeah,
And
so
she's
like, let me look at my account, and there's already money in it. And he's like, all I needed was your legal name. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's
That's
being
how money works.
he's being creepy as.
That's how banks work. All you just need is somebody's name to be able to like transfer a shit ton of money into their account. So then she like goes to a bar where John Cena is sitting there.
What, this guy?
Yeah, that's John Cena.
Is that John Cena?
After he retires, yeah.
John Cena's had a hard go.
That's John Cena after he retires.
John Cena got a lot of arm hair.
Yeah, well, he stopped shaving, waxing. And,
No, that's true. He's like, da, 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 da,
yeah,
not gonna wax.
and I guess she's like trying to get him to give her information by like, and she's like grabbing his pressure points or something. I don't know.
Which apparently is just his upper thigh. I'm like,
or no, it looks like his arm,
no, it's just.
but it's also his arm.
Oh, she's got his arm and his thigh.
Yeah, I guess. So John Cena tells her where Vince is.
He goes, "You can't see me, but
You can't
I can
see me, but I can tell you where Vince McMahon is hiding."
Vince McMahon's hiding in the gym. He's buried underneath a 10-pound weight. Actually, I would love it if that was like in a Lego game. How instead of finding all the Stan Lees, you got to find all the Vince McMahons who are having trouble. And he's just like underneath like a bunch of weights. He's like, oh, thank you. I didn't realize I did so much benching. I'm so strong. Goodbye. Here, have this brick.
Have a brick.
Have a brick. Why can't there be a WWE Lego game?
You have to get the blocks games. With the
I don't want
Z.
that game.
Nobody wants that game.
I just want a Lego game with WWE people in it.
I'm sorry, baby.
That's all I want.
Sorry.
They can all be big Legos. I don't care. They can all be the big ones.
Would you want me to write a letter to somebody?
Yeah, write a letter, send over to
Lego.
Stanford.
Dear Lego.
Dear Lego, be friends with the E. Thank you.
Maybe if we go to the theme park, we can ask them about it.
Is there a suggestion box?
Yeah, there is. How can we make this better? Please put out a Lego WWE game. Thank you.
All right.
I guess they're like on some boat.
But she's.
I don't know how she gets to this boat.
So because she hitches onto a copter.
Sure.
Because he's telling her, he's like, eep, yacht, 3 mile limit. They rendezvous with choppers.
Sure.
So wait, is she on the boat or on the chopper first? I think she's because look, she's jumping off the chopper.
I guess.
Because she set off a flare. How she's doing all this without anybody knowing?
I don't know. That's the thing.
It's ridiculous.
Sure, okay.
She's setting off a flare. She's distracting the chopper. She's jumping off the chopper, climbing onto the side of the boat, using her claws to go on the side of the boat, which, sure.
Yeah.
And then she is waiting. She waits for the time to dock, and then she hops up to the vent, hops down into the vent.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm just such a good thief. Basically, I'm Catwoman.
Basically, she's Catwomaning this whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny is if you read there's the bullpen bulletin, and this book that we're reading is in the hype box for this month. Or for this week, and it says, has all this description for it, and it's ridiculous because like the penciler and everybody that's writing about it, it's like they're getting quotes, but they're using all these like black cat puns.
Right.
It's like, hope I don't get bad luck.
Okay.
Lots of good cat fights in this one. Whatever.
Yeah.
But so she jumps out of this thing.
Yeah, she looks like she gets shot out of a cannon.
Question. So she's hiding in this thing, right?
Yes.
This is like when you're playing Arkham City or Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
And you're Batman and you have to squat through the tunnels.
Yeah.
And he basically, every time he goes through the tunnels, he doesn't dive out of them like a fucking maniac. He actually has to like push it open or unscrew it.
Yes.
And then just
push against it and like
stealthily come out of it. She's jumping out of it and it is like shredding the entire thing. She's destroying.
It is like she got shot out of a goddamn cannon.
And I know she's got like electro-tipped gloves or something like that.
Yeah, but come on.
But it is doing like this wicked amount of damage.
Yeah, like it's like putting something in a wood chipper is what it looks like.
And she's slicing up their guns and doing this, that, and the other thing. And she's on this boat looking for this chimera, but she doesn't even know that it has anything that on this boat actually has anything to do with the chimera,
right?
Other than the tip she got from John Cena,
right? And the creepy guy, even told her like, I'm not even going to tell you what it is or what it does. Just go find it, okay? So she like starts kicking everybody's asses and beating everybody up, and she's like, oh, okay. And she goes to the control panel where She says it looks like Frankenstein or something.
Yeah, she sees like a lab, and for them, whoever they are, to be taken alive. There's something chilling about how clinical this all works. I'm going to feed a virus into the system.
Yeah.
Which apparently she's,
Gonna
she's Oracle as well.
Yes.
She's everything. She's
Yeah.
Oracle. She's Batwoman. She's Batgirl. She's Catwoman.
Yeah.
How could you not like this book?
Because she's not actually Catwoman.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Spider-Man's pretty much Batman, but he's just...
Like, if I wanted to read about Catwoman doing this, I would just read a Catwoman book.
Yeah.
So.
It would be much more exciting.
Yeah.
And it would have
Yeah.
Batman in it, probably.
Probably.
And they might be doing something.
Maybe.
And that's kind of what you're...
Sexy.
Yeah, that might be kind of what you're into.
Well, it is what I'm into, definitely.
Yeah. You're not into Spider-Man and his wiener.
Yeah, I don't care about Spider-Man.
He's a big weenie.
He is a big weenie.
But anyway, so as she's about to do that, somebody phases through the wall. This isn't the guy.
Are you sure it's not? Because he's just got a mask on. I think it's the same guy. He's just wearing a mask.
I don't think it is. I think it's somebody...
It is. I think that's why he got to the fucking roof so quick.
That's a good theory, but apparently this guy's name is Faze, F-A-Z-E.
Yeah, but that guy was in his civilian identity. That other guy.
I guess. But yeah, apparently he's some sort of security systems guy, and he surprises Black Cat, and that's it.
Yup.
That's it for the book. Apparently, I think the whole reason that it does get revealed that this Proust guy, the guy on the roof, is really a...
Phase.
Well, if he's phased, but he's like trying to... He hired her... He is the Chimera thing, so there really is no Chimera except he is the guy.
Oh, sure.
And he's teaching... he wants to test his security. That's why he hired her to do this.
Okay.
Which, sure. That sounds like a... I don't know why you would have to write 4 issues on this.
Right.
You could have did this in a Marvel Comics Presents or something if you wanted to do it that bad, but
yeah,
I don't know. So that's it for Felicia Hardy, The Black Cat, #1 from July 1994. Would you read the next issue of this?
Probably not.
Yeah, me neither. I don't, because I kind of, okay, I have a sort of a soft spot for 80s and 90s Marvel miniseries, that you can hunt down. Like, there's a whole bunch of random ones that were out there back in the day.
Right.
And, this was one of them. And I would rather somebody just tell me what happened. I don't need to read through all this, especially if it's just a bunch more of Spider-Man whining and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, it's I don't know. I didn't hate it as much when Spider-Man wasn't in it, to be honest.
He's so whiny
because he's such it's so distracting, and I'm like
all the problems.
And I just want to kind of pay attention to her and have her see what she's up to,
do stuff.
Black Cat, and see her do stuff and see her focused on, and maybe the rest of the books are that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I'm gonna watch if I'm going to read about a female hero who's like breaking into places and stealing things and getting into trouble and having adventures, I'm going to read Catwoman.
Yeah.
I don't need to read Black Cat.
Yeah, you could have read Catwoman at the time and been perfectly fine.
And this is pretty much a Catwoman story.
It's exactly. Yeah,
Except for her like whining about just breaking up with some dude. It's just like, she's like, oh, I got hired to go steal this thing and do a job, and I'm really good at it, and I just kicked everybody's ass, and oh my God, here's this new threat I have to deal with at the end of the book. It's very like the Balan run, like pretty much every issue is like that.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
So yeah, no, I would read Catwoman instead.
Yeah, read Catwoman instead. All right, well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with another fun issue of comic books. Maybe it's our 100th episode. I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. Probably. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not.
Did you want to say anything about the Podfest preview night?
Oh yeah. Well, we for folks that are in Los Angeles, if you are listening, and if you'd be interested in checking it out, we are again here at the Sideshow Network. We're working with the Hollywood Improv and the Los Angeles Podcast Festival to put together a Sideshow Los Angeles Podcast Festival preview night, which is on September 22nd at the Hollywood Improv. We've got 4 awesome shows lined up for that night, 2 shows in the main room, or one show with 2 separate events in the main room and 2 shows in the lab. And in the main room, we have We Hate Movies from New York. They're coming in.
First time in LA.
First time in LA. Very excited to have them. They're going to be doing 2 shows. One at 8 o'clock is sold out. So they're going to be doing Suburban Commando. But if you want to check it out, at 10 o'clock, they're going to be doing Batman and Robin.
Yes.
Which is going to be awesome.
And tickets are still available for that one.
Tickets are still available for that one, so you should check that out. And in the lab, we have 2 great shows. We have at 8 o'clock, it's Please Advise with Molly McAleer. McAleer? That's how you say it, I think. She's that's on the. It's like a comedy advice show, and Molly helped founded Hello Giggles, and she does some writing on Two Broke Girls. She's a hell of a personality. You should definitely check that show out. And then at 10 o'clock in the Hollywood Improv Lab, which is the smaller room in the Hollywood Improv overall, we have High and Mighty with John Gabris. You probably know him from stuff like Comedy Bang Bang and Guy Code on MTV. So he's going to be doing his podcast live as well. So go to hollywood.improv.com for tickets. You can check out September 22nd and on the calendar there, and you can just find all the sites or all the places to get tickets from there. And it's going to be a blast, and we're excited to do that. And again this year, and because Podfest weekend, it's kind of like the WrestleMania for Podfest for podcasting. As I've kind of tried to, that's the reason why we're doing this. I think part of it is I want to see if we can add on to it. And the guys at the Podfest were like, totally, let's do it. So here we go. Second year in a row doing it. So if you're in Los Angeles and you're looking for something to do on September 22nd in the evening, check us out.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, folks, and we'll be back next week. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN. Also find my Tumblr at theangryhero.tumblr.com.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, and jenstansfield.wordpress.com.
All right, folks. Take care. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.